Welcome to the Utah Street Banter Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode here on the Utah Street Banter Podcast. I'm Cody, and here along with me, like always, is Elijah. What's up, man?
Not much. How are you?
Doing good. Yeah, man. So I guess we finally had, a few days of baseball, which that's pretty awesome. You watch any over the weekend, I mean?
Oh yeah, I was watching as much as I possibly could. Probably more than I should have. I know opening day sadly started for me during one of my classes, so of course that meant I had to stop taking notes in class to watch the game.
Nice.
But I mean, look, it wasn't just me. I had someone switch seats to come sit next to me so we could both watch it. So
You were watching it in class?
yeah, I was in the back row, and me and another kid, we were watching in the back of class, and it was actually pretty funny because we kept like high-fiving and stuff. Like Corbin Burns, when he struck out Rendon for the first at-bat, we were high-fiving trying to keep cool in the back of class.
What class
He
was
struck Rendon out, and this was Intro to Comp Theory.
Oh, I have no idea what that even is.
Yeah, don't ask me what it is because I don't know what it is either.
That's awesome.
It's a problem because I have an exam on Thursday and I don't know what I'm going to do.
Nobody else listening to this even knows what that is either.
No, not at all.
That's great. Well, real quick, I went to game 2 and game 4 of the past few games here. So game 2, it was Grayson Rodriguez was pitching for that game against the Angels. And then I also went to the game against the Royals where we had Dean Kramer pitch. So I've been to 2 games already this year out of the 5 that has happened. And I just want to go over real quick some things that I noticed around the stadium, not going into too much detail, but I know a lot of people that listen to this podcast probably go to Camden Yards, so I wanted to give some updates on just some things that I saw and kind of go from there. I was a little disappointed with the crowd on Saturday. I just thought it was going to be way more packed for the second game of the season. A Saturday, it was beautiful out. Wish some O's fans can make it out there. Maybe as summer comes, that'll happen a little bit more. Even Easter Sunday, the crowd was still kind of light. But, so definitely want to make sure we get out there and support our birds. But, yeah, I mean, other than that, we had a great experience for both O's games. Great time. A lot of new food choices. Man, there is a ton of different food options this year, which is pretty exciting. Between that and then obviously, a lot of different like O's gear in the shops, which is pretty awesome. So definitely, Elijah, when you get there, make sure you bring your wallet. So and get all your make sure you spend all that money that you got over there.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean.
No, there's 11 new food vendors.
Oh, right.
in Camden Yards this season, and it kind of seems like they got a little bit of everything from donuts to pupusas. So
okay.
Yeah, little bit of everything. And then here's one thing I know you like. We've talked about it before, and I like it too, is that Coca-Cola's now there. So, and then something that we can't relate to as much as Paul, especially not me, but they brought back Natty Bell to the stadium. I know that was a big thing for a while there with fans. So they'll be able to be back.
I got you. Yeah, it's definitely popular. The cans look cool. You know what I mean? I'll tell you what's cool. The souvenir cup has Gunnar Henderson on it. That was pretty,
That's cool.
That was worth,
I know. Yeah. Last year when we were at the playoff game, we were disappointed with the souvenir cups.
The souvenir playoff cups were rough.
Yeah, they're just black.
Right. One of my biggest downfalls of different things that are out there this year for this season. I don't know if it was just against the Royals. When Kimbrel came in, no lighting effect at all. Music, nothing really.
Yeah.
Really hard to get hyped up. And then I know this has been talked about nonstop, but Camden Yards has to have the worst sound system at any stadium in professional baseball. It's if you imagine you're going to a concert, but you're really late to the concert. So you're at the ticket box that's outside of the concert, trying to, get through the line, but the music's already started in the building and you can kind of hear the rumble of it. That's all the audio. Like we were sitting in club level right behind home plate the past 2 games and couldn't hear one single name. The music sounds like it's like, I don't know how far back. That's pretty rough. But like I said, It's fine. I mean, it's only sound system, and then I do miss the lighting effects. Some people don't care about that, but I get hyped
Yeah.
when that happens. But my fireworks people were on point though, because when Westberg hit the bomb, the ball wasn't even in the stands, and they had that button pushed. A lot of props go out to them, so that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, and the one thing I will say about sound systems, I obviously have them in there, so I can't say what it sounds like. But on opening day, along with Ben McDonald, Jim Palmer, and Kevin Brown, they had David Rubenstein in the booth. And they were kind of asking him questions, and he did say that their focus was going to be on trying to improve some stuff in Camden Yards for the fan experience. So I don't know if that's included in that. I didn't, like I said, I was in class, so I didn't have audio for the whole time he was in the booth, kind of just caught the tail end of it. So I don't know if he was including audio and like kind of that stuff with it, or just more of a food and souvenir stuff. But we'll see. And if that is an improvement, he's got money to spend. And I'd love him to spend it on that.
Yeah, I did listen to that interview, or I did watch that interview, and he did say that his goal isn't between the next 5 to 10 years is that Camden Yards is the most high tech stadium in Major League Baseball, and it helps getting the some of that money from the city after that lease has been signed.
Yeah,
right.
And just the one last thing that we have to look forward to is there are now Orioles WWE title belts in the gift shops I see here.
Oh, nice.
So that's better than everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Make sure you grab one, right? Right. All right, guys. Well, let's get started. We're going to go through each of the past few games that has happened already. And the big one I want to talk about is Game 1, opening day. We had Corbin Burns on the mound going against Patrick Sandoval. And Corbin Burns is really everything you could have asked for. The top of the first inning, we're watching it. And, Mike Trout gets up, one of, future Hall of Famer, and hits a bomb over center field wall to give the Angels a 1-run lead. And, right then I'm like, oh man, as the most non-optimistic person ever, I was a little nervous, but you know what? He settled right down. He didn't give up another hit the rest of the game. Really, I was really happy the way he threw the ball. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it was really impressive. I mean, he had 11 strikeouts, didn't let a single runner on for the rest of the game. And what I even like to look at here is obviously we had that home run. It was a bomb. Trout crushed it into left center field. But I will say he hung a pitch, but it was the first inning. You got to be honest. He knows what he's doing, and he had a rough spring. He had a 6.75 ERA over all of spring training, but he started getting more dialed in towards the end. And I saw that, and I was like, well, that's his jitters. And I'm glad that I was right. That's all he had. That was his only problem. The first two at-bats with Rendon and Hicks were filthy. I could tell. I could see it in Aaron Hicks' eyes. After the at-bats he had against Corbin Burns, he wished he had signed back with us because he got embarrassed at the plate on a couple different cutters and changeups. It was filthy, but back-to-back days, though, because he struggled against Grayson, too.
Yeah.
And it's really good to see that we have a reliable 1-2 punch now and a real true ace. Not to discredit anything Bradish did last year. It was still just the beginning of it. We know what Burns expect of Burns, and after this start, all I can see is Cy Young.
Yeah. I mean, he threw 6 innings. He gave up 1 hit, like I said, with that 1 earned run. He had 11 strikeouts in those 6 innings, and just really did well. Another guy I really want to talk to, if we can just stay in the pitching staff real quick, Mike Baumann, man. I mean, my man's throwing gas. He's in the high 90s. Looks really good. I'm really excited for him because I'll be honest, that's not somebody that was really on my personal radar of guys I was excited to see this year. And boy, he looks good. Now, if we want to talk about somebody that I really like that didn't look good in Game 1, that's Dylan Tate. He just didn't look like he may have had some jitters. He didn't pitch for a whole season last year. I guess I just need to remember that. He just really struggled. A couple walks there in that inning. Gave up 2 runs, 1 earned. But so that was the one downfall of the whole thing in that first game. I really would have liked to see Tate come out there and do a little better. But Baumann, wow. I was not expecting what he was able to give us. What he's shown already in this early season.
Yeah, no, I agree. Bauman looked really good, and like you said, I'm scared by what Dylan Tate had to give that game. He was really, really missing with his sinker in multiple different ways. He threw a 91 mile an hour sinker right over the plate to Renhefo, and he crushed it for a double. And then he gave up a walk, struck Joe Adell out, and then another walk to Logan O'Hoppe. And both of those walks had all but one pitch was a sinker. So I really think he must be struggling to find the zone with that sinker, and I hope he can figure it out soon because I think we're really going to need the bullpen help here this year.
A couple of good points on the offense. You had Santander hit a bomb in the fourth inning, and then Mullins hit one right over dead center in the seventh inning. Love to see Mullins, get out there. Not that, Santander is not awesome, but Mullins is kind of one of those guys that we can really use in center field, but really at the plate. It is odd seeing him bat, in the 7 hole. But that's where we need him at. You got Henderson and Rutschman at the top. It's going to be hard for him to get up there.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and I think it's just the main reason that we don't have Mullins leading off is because we have Gunnar Henderson. And Gunnar Henderson's great. I did not expect him to be leading off in game 1, strictly because they had Sandoval on the mound, a lefty. I really thought he was going to be hidden more because that's what they did last year. Hyde tried to hide him and put him more around the 6 hole to try to not face the lefties at the beginning because he struggled so much. I mean, he only had a 209 batting average, and he had 42 strikeouts to 18 walks against lefties, which isn't great. I mean, obviously, not a lot. The counting numbers aren't that high, but that's just because you don't face that many lefties. But he did really great. I was really impressed with this at bat. He had a couple good takes, a couple were just bad pitches. Had his first at bat was a 4-pitch walk, and the first 4 batters of the game. It was just, I love to see everything. It gave me such good hope for this season because we had Henderson take a nice walk, who Henderson sometimes gets a little swing happy. Rutschman worked a 3-1 count and went inside out on an inside, I think it was a sinker, and dropped it in front of Hicks in right field, got it first and third, and then Mountcastle had another great count and really worked it, got another walk, and then this is almost my favorite at bat. I don't like that Santander hit a ground ball here and that he still got a run, but what I like to see is that Santander is a power guy, definitely not known for speed, but he legged it out so that we didn't get a double play there, and he got to first to beat it, which I just think is super impressive. Shows that all of our guys really are kind of going to step up.
Yeah.
And I love to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. Jumping to game 2, we had Grayson Rodriguez on the mound, and man, he did well. He had 9 strikeouts through 6 innings, gave up 1 earned run off 4 hits. Man, I was at this game, and the changeup was filthy. He was topping out around 97, 98 on the fastball. Changeup's 82, 83. Crazy drop. There was one at bat where of course, not to keep picking on the poor guy, but Aaron Hicks could have swung twice. He swung, and then the changeup still wasn't there, and he struck him out. I think he struck him out 3 times that game. But really, really awesome to see Grayson come out there, pitch like that. Gunnar, of course, the first inning had a leadoff home run. Pretty awesome. Great way to start that game. And then, we had Adley Rutschman. He gets on. Mountcastle hits RBI double off the Green Monster, or we should call it the Camden Monster out there. That was awesome to see. It would have been a home run in every other stadium in Major League Baseball. Yeah, and that was pretty great to see. Great way to start the game, 2-0 in the first inning, and they kind of just that was just the beginning because we went on to score 13 runs. We had 9 runs in the 6th inning without getting 1 out. So that was pretty awesome. And so did you get to see any of that game?
Yeah, I started watching first inning and everything. Should have been doing homework, but I didn't. I think I might have got all but like the 8th or 9th inning here. So I kind of I didn't really miss too much. Saw a lot of the scoring. Got to see, like you said, the Henderson home run was really impressive. It was about a foot off the ground, maybe a little bit less. And he golfed it, crushed it. And then, like you said, Mountcastle, he got robbed twice by the Camden Monster out in the left field. And it's good to see him crushing the ball again. I really, really like to see that. And it's kind of we got our whole team was really putting it together here. from top to bottom. I mean, other than Ramon Arias, but
Yeah.
everybody looks really, really good. And obviously, Grayson, he gave up the home run award, but kind of just like Burns, he settled right back in after it. It was really nice. We had some good defensive plays in this game. It was just, I don't know, it seemed everything was really, really good and put together. There's nothing to really hate from this.
Yeah, Taylor Ward had some great at bats that game. He hit one right to the wall in right field, and then the very next at bat, he hits a bomb in left. I just remember last year he was plagued with injuries. Year before that, he's the reason why they were able to just. He took over first base there for the Angels, and it's because my man can hit. He's a great at bat, great hitter. That's really all you can say about him. So at first I was like, "Come on, man," on Grayson, but Taylor Ward, he's a tough at bat. So
yeah. And I was just gonna say I have one stat here that I really love, and it's about Gunnar. So he obviously was a double shy of the cycle to end up pulling him, so he couldn't get to his final at bat to try to get a double. But the one thing I do see is that on his hits this season, which he's had all of one up through the first 2 games, they were an average exit velo of 100.3 miles an hour, which is almost near the 100th percentile, which is near best in the league. He has so much red on his Baseball Savant page, which for those of you that don't know, red is just above average and really good. It's so impressive how he's putting his season together already so early on. I don't know what to say other than this is an MVP season in the coming year. I'm just gonna put it out there.
You're just gonna put it out.
MVP, the Cy Young, and the Rookie of the Year. Don't be surprised. You heard it here first.
I hear you. The one negative of this game though is Perez looked bad. He gave up 2 hits, but if you were there, there's not much life there on that fastball. Looked a little rough, and then he has to get pulled out with an oblique strain. Little worried about this one because oblique strains can be pretty sketchy. It could be, 3-4 weeks, or it could easily be, 6 to 8. It's because the oblique is something that you use for pretty much anything you do, especially pitching. There's a lot of torque throughout your oblique when it comes to throwing a ball as hard as you possibly can. So we'll see. Hopefully he gets feeling better. Maybe before I start saying how bad he is, I guess this season, let's make sure he's healthy, because he may have not been healthy the entire time. He might have been feeling something in the bullpen, and he just didn't have that extra zip on his fastball. Let's jump to Easter. The Easter, we obviously had Tyler Wells jump on the mound for us this game. This is where I was really just nervous, because I'm like, all right, our first 2 big aces are off the mound. Now let's see if the rest of our rotation can hold us. And Tyler Wells didn't do bad. I mean, he had a rough first, really inning and a half, and then he really settled down. The thing I want to talk about right now is that there was just no life in the dugout. I mean, nobody really doing much at the plate. It was just kind of dead. I mean, really hoping that our young team didn't just walk on the field thinking that the Angels were going to keel over and give you the game. Because it's Major League Baseball and that never happens. I'm not going to say that's a positive, but Tyler Wells definitely deserved a little bit more than that. Dylan Tate came out, did much better that game, got through the whole inning, no strikeouts, but got through the inning. And then we got to see one of my favorite pitchers in Cano, and he came in with a strikeout, only gave up 1 hit. But anyway, I'm going to just pretend that they were just trying to get home and get to Easter dinner and open up their Easter baskets. And they're having a hard time focusing on that game, because other than that, I mean, it was a pretty good weekend. Like, I don't want to harp too much on any negatives. I realized that it was funny. Me and somebody on our Facebook page were having a little bit of fun, because he says, you can't win them all. And I said, well, I was really hoping to. So really, losing sucks. And even though you have to lose, you're just not always ready for it. But then, you got anything on that game?
Yeah, just a few things. And the thing is, obviously, we lost 4-1, and all 4 runs were scored when Wells was on the mound. It was only 3 earned runs because we had a throwing error. It was interesting. I didn't know what happened when the play was going on. Is James McCann tried to back pick at third base and ended up hitting O'Hoppe in the back, and it dribbled into left field, so he had to go. Scored. So I don't know. He definitely would have had him if it was a good throw. But O'Hoppe, anybody that's played baseball knows that if you're diving back into third base on that, you always go more towards foul ground to try to get in the way of a throw. And that's exactly what he did. And he got hit off the back. So
yeah,
I don't think it was a terrible play, but our bats were dead. It was hard to watch. Reed Detmers really ate us up, and he definitely has potential to be good this year. From what I saw, he was doing really good. He had some good off-speed pitches. Another thing is Henderson made some good plays at shortstop. Yet again, your AL MVP. You heard it here first. But yeah, I don't know. It was just there was a couple different things that just stuck out. You're like, well, hopefully we didn't play 2 good games, and we're going to be bad for the rest of the year.
Yeah, and then jumping on to April Fool's Day, we played the Kansas City Royals, who came into town with Bobby Witt Jr. Pretty much. In my opinion, he's going to be one of the best players in baseball as years go. I was also at this game, and this game was totally different than the first game I went to, where it started off just amazing. This one started off really rough with the very first play. Like, we had a ground ball to Urias. It was a shot, but it needs to be played. You try to backhand a ball you're supposed to just stay in front of. That was the first error of the game. And then in the same inning, we had Gunnar Henderson have a ground ball, which stayed on the ground the entire time. And he made another error, which made our man, Dean Kremer, have to get 5 outs in 1 inning, which he did. But I was impressed with Dean Kremer in this game because this was just not an easy game. There was just not much that was just given to him at all. The Royals, their bats, really came ready to go. You had Bobby Witt hit a home run. Like I said, though, he's one of the best, young players in Major League Baseball. Dean Kremer, he went 5 in a piece of an inning, gave up 3 hits, 3 earned, 5 strikeouts, and those 2 home runs. But I was still pretty happy with Dean. That's what I'm looking for from the bottom of our rotation. Give us 5 innings. That's really all I can expect. Keep us, under 5 runs given up, and at least give us a chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, and I mean, it was decent. We both went kind of shot for shot in the third and the fourth, had them score 3 runs, us score 3 runs in the fourth. But what I like to see is looking at the box score. You have Henderson, Rutschman, Santander, Mountcastle, and O'Hearn batting 1 through 5. All of them got on base at least once, if not more than that. And when you have guys like Henderson, who had 1 hit, and he scored that 1 hit, but kind of struggled the rest of the game, had 2 strikeouts, then you have someone right behind him, Rutschman. He went 2 for 3, had a double in the game and a walk, scored a run as well. And just everybody's kind of passing the baton, and maybe you're having an off day. Well, someone else is going to have a hot day and come back you up for it. You have Westberg, he was 0 for 3 heading into the 9th inning and crushes a home run to win it. It's just, that's what we need to see from everybody. We can't have a game like on Sunday where you had 3 hits, I think. You kind of need everyone to be able to pass the baton and keep going.
Yeah, we finished that game with 9 hits, 6 runs. So really happy with that. Couple of things that I am a little stressed about here. All right. So obviously with the error, but some other things that really got on my nerves a little bit as you're watching, as a, somebody that's played baseball in my whole life, just watched baseball a lot. We had a really slow double play turn with Gunnar, and we couldn't get the play, couldn't get the out. That was frustrating. And then we had another one where there's a ground ball hit to center field. Cedric Mullins picks up the ball, but these kind of going lackadaisical. So the guy, I can't remember who the base runner is. Garcia. I'm sorry. Garcia was able to take second base on a ground ball. So he got a double just because of lack of effort. That's just annoying when you're just kind of giving a team bases. And here's the reason why. The Angels and the Royals are teams you have to beat. So you have to win those series. This isn't like when I'm watching the Yankees play the Astros and the Yankees playing the Diamondbacks and beating up on those. The Yankees are playing good teams. They're not playing the Angels or the Royals. So it just makes me a little frustrated because I'm like, okay, these are games that you have to win. You have to show why you're one of the best teams in Major League Baseball. So let's act like that. Like I said, I'm not harping too hard on this. I'm just saying what kind of annoyed me a little bit. A lot more positives than negatives, and I totally get that. But Santana had an amazing diving catch. Mountcastle he robbed a guy of a base hit, then dives to first base. So there's a lot of awesome things that happened. Just trying to, when I try to judge our baby birds here and put them up against some of the more veteran teams, I'm trying to see the differences between teams that have been to the playoffs and won playoff games and won World Series. Trying to judge that against us right now.
No, I definitely agree. And the one thing that I did take away from this game, especially, there's a couple different times that even if it looks bad, it kind of wasn't as bad as it seemed.
Absolutely.
So say we have bases loaded and 1 out in the 8th inning, Cano finds a way to get out of it. And maybe we had bases loaded, but the bases loaded wasn't really, it could have been much, much worse because we have a Bobby Witt single to start the top of the 8th, and then he steals. Then Pasquantino, he singled, but it was a diving stop by Mountcastle, who just couldn't get the ball in time to get the out. So that saves the run right there. And then we get a ground out, intentional walk, and then a pop out with bases loaded and a strikeout with bases loaded. And yet again, it is the Royals. They're not great. But it's just good to see that we can still execute in these situations where stuff may not be going the way we want it to go, but we still get to figure out. And another way that I can look at this is when Kimbrel pitched. Mm-hmm. You may say, yeah, he blew the save. I don't think you can really say this is fully him pitching bad.
Right. I agree.
Because strikeout, first batter. It's going great. The next guy, he had a single. It was a little blooper. The one that you say when you're talking about a bloop and a blast, anything can happen, that's what that was.
Right.
It was a little blooper, fell in between Hayes and Gunnar. And then they put in one of the fastest guys in baseball, and he stole 2 bases.
Yeah.
And that's not really, I mean, it is kind of Kimbrel's fault. Kimbrel's been slow to the plate for his entire career, but you can't really ask him to change that too much. Rutschman's not, even though he's an amazing catcher, he's not going to be able to completely make up for that lost time. And they get a pop fly, sac fly, whatever, but then we come back out and Orioles magic, baby.
Yeah, Jordan Westburg.
Single. Jordan Westburg powers that ball over near the scoreboard in right field and just got enough on it.
Yeah, it was funny because when Jordan Westburg comes up there, he has an 0-2 count with a man on first, and I was just not feeling it. I was like, well, this is a strikeout right here because last year we didn't see a ton of power. I think he had 3 or 4 home runs in the whole season last year and came up huge with opposite field blast, outside pitch. You could see the pitcher's face, man. My man he couldn't believe it. It seemed like, the whole game we were just kind of playing from behind. Wow, what a great moment, especially for Jordan Westburg. Love seeing that for him. Really excited for him because I'm sure he's just still trying to get his footing on this team and find out where he's going to be because what he has to be thinking about it too. Where is he going to be in a few months when holiday comes up? He wants to make sure he's over there probably at third and staying in that lineup because there's competition there. So I'm sure he played most of the year last year, but I'm sure he still feels like somebody's trying to come and get his job. But let's talk about Kimbrel really quick. Because like I said, we live too close to Philadelphia to not hear them laughing about Craig Kimbrel being on our team. But I will say he didn't look bad. His curveball was not there at all. So it couldn't throw it for a strike. But his velocity wasn't bad. It was low to mid 90s and 94, 92. But I really did like that he was able to battle and get out of that inning with just a 1 run. So we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna make sure that I don't overreact just because of this. maybe maybe we call the Orioles and say the whole reason why it didn't work out is he didn't have the cool walkout song, and we didn't have the cool lighting effects, or he couldn't hear the music. He was trying to get pumped up. He couldn't hear the music out on the field. So yeah, I'm just messing. So, but yeah, so like I said, I'm gonna make sure that I can kind of, if you were to ask me for the same, if you're gonna ask me this question when I was there watching the game, I was not this calm. But after, being able to think about it and kind of go over my internal feelings here, I think I can deal with it. And, we'll give him a few more chances. But Cano looked great. I love seeing it, man. The two-seam cutter, whatever it is, that's dropping to the, low inside to already filthy. Love seeing his energy. His energy is like legit when he can get out of an inning. Love it. And, it really fuels Camden Yards.
Yeah, and if you want, we can move on to Tuesday night, so we can go over that too by looking over some of the stats, and it kind of looks ugly for us.
Yeah, 4-1. Kansas City was able to take us here, and Cole Irvin, man, he's my biggest worry in this whole rotation. I know you're a left-handed pitcher, Elijah, so you want to root for left-handed pitchers, but I am just not a fan. I just don't think this is. This is a massive hole with Cole Irvin in our rotation. I look at other pitching rotations, and I don't see a Cole Irvin on playoff teams. So it makes me worried. He said he went 5, which, that's good. Gave up 4, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. So, like I said, it is what it is. Dylan Tate came in. He looked pretty good. He only gave up 1 walk and a hit, but he had 2 strikeouts. Like to see him trying to get his work back in. And Jonathan Heasley, well, Jacob Webb came in, but I want to get to Jonathan Heasley. Jonathan Heasley comes in, gives us 2 innings, 2 strikeouts, no walks, no hits. So that was his first appearance, I believe, right, Elijah? For Inos,
yes.
He came in. He's come back up since the Perez injury.
Yeah.
So
he came in against his former team too.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we're you're right. So no, so he looked good. I don't, I'm happy to see that if we're trying to pull a positive out of a crappy day. So Jordan Westberg and Colton Cowser both hitting doubles today. Cowser had an RBI. Love seeing the Moo Cow get some love. So yeah, we'll see. 4-1. We only had 3 hits. We went quiet again. We made Marshall look amazing, apparently, and so we'll see. I'm just hoping. Here's my fear. I'm just hoping that this is extremely early to say this. So just if you're an optimistic Orioles fan, just mute me for a second. But I'm just nervous. Like when I see the high and lows, it just reminds me so much of the 2014 through 2016 Orioles, where like one game we're crushing, the next game we're nothing. One game we're, you know what I mean? So I'm sure I'm wrong. I'm sure in October when we're doing this, I'm in the playoffs, I can just shut my mouth.
Yeah.
So.
My only thing that I keep telling myself is we've played 5 games.
I know. You're right.
It's still early, and I had this conversation today with somebody that I know that's also an Orioles fan. Thank God we started off the season playing early, easy games, because could you imagine if our first series was against the Yankees?
Yeah. You're right.
And even though we did really good our first 2 days, but say we're playing the Yankees instead of the Royals right now, and we're getting our butts kicked, I know too many Yankees fans that like to talk too much trash that I wouldn't want to show my face in public. And it's just, and like you said, what really gets me here is we had 3 hits. And out of all our players that got 3 hits, it's Cowser and Westbury. No veterans got hits. We had one walk, with O'Hearn got a walk. It's just, I don't know. We only had 4 players get more than 3 at bats. We had 4 over the minimum. Like, it's crazy to see.
Yeah, can I get your opinion on something real quick, Elijah? So give me your opinion.
Yeah.
We haven't discussed this yet, so this is off the cuff here. What's your opinion on Tony Kemp starting today at second base? Just after, you have Urias, who had an error, tough game, right? We have Holiday sitting at second base in AAA. And we're going to give Tony Kemp, who didn't play 1 spring training game with us, and we're going to let him start, the 5th game of the season and get 3 at-bats. How do you feel about that? What's your opinion?
Not, I don't like it. I really don't like it. Because I don't know. we have obviously the two infielders that were on our bench is Mateo and Arias. And I wouldn't want to see either of those guys come up because may I remind you, Ramon Arias still has 0 hits.
Just like Tony Kemp.
In 4 games. In 4 games, 0 hits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, you know what the difference is?
4 games.
Tony Kemp has a walk.
Oh, does he? Okay, yeah.
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 I'm pretty sure the only time Ramon Arias has gotten on base is errors. So it's just Jackson Holiday hit a home run in his first spring at bat the other day, and his crush hits coming up here. So Mike Elias, could you tell me how he would be worse than this, please?
Right.
Can we get him on the podcast?
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, like, so don't get me wrong, okay? I don't have an issue with Holiday being in AAA if there's a better option. But if you're gonna put in players that aren't contributing, to me, that's a detriment to the team. You're not helping the team win. So, say Holiday gets one hit this game and it's a double, and then Gunnar Henderson comes up and that sparks, like I said, this is all just speculation, but this is what we do, right? I mean, so it's one of those things where, like, we do have better options.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't have a problem with Tony Kemp either. I like Tony Kemp. I just think he's a depth piece, not a, I need him to get a big hit here to get an inning going, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about that.
I also just went through all of his at-bats, and would you like me to tell you something that's probably going to make you a little frustrated?
I guess.
Guess how many times he got the ball out of the infield?
1.
No, 0.
Oh, God.
He grounded out to third base for his first at bat. He bunted and was out in the second at bat, and then popped out to third base.
The one positive I'll say is in game 2 when we were there, he hit one about 3 feet short of a home run. So that was his one hit. I thought his debut was going to be a bomb, and obviously it wasn't. Just going in a review really quick. Some stats wise, we got Ryan Mountcastle leading the team. He's batting a .333 average. He has 1 bomb, really should be 2, but the Camden Monster was able to put that down. Gunnar Henderson and Adley Rutschman are both batting at a .278, which is not bad. I mean, everybody's doing well. The big Anthony Santander, he's the only one on our team that has 2 home runs at the moment. So we'll see how it goes. The biggest thing I want to kind of discuss here is I just really need Austin Hayes to get it going. My man, he just looks a little lost at the plate. Just not good at, not pretty at bats. You know what I mean? So, would love to see him going. He's batting a .133. Like I said, it's only 5 games. So we'll let it go from there. But would just like to see a little more solid contact. And he just, it's not there right now.
The one thing I feel like I've been seeing a lot with him, and it's kind of the same with Mullins, but just Mullins had a little bit more success, is that they're taking these really, really big swings and just whiffing. Like, I don't remember what game it was, but I saw Hayes had a 2-0 count. I think it was on Sunday. He had a 2-0 count and got a changeup over the heart of the plate. And the bat hit his back before the ball was in the catcher's glove. It was just bad timing, bad swing. I don't know, though. He's been here before. I think it was his 7th season with the O's, so we hope he can do something better. The ones that I have here that I liked a little bit more when I was putting my notes together. Not so much right now because this game messed us up a little bit. Last season we were first with batting average and OPS with runners in scoring position. And right now, we're still first in OPS with runners in scoring position, 1 dotting, but that's also because it's the beginning of the year. The thing that makes me mad is we were first in batting average with runners in scoring position, but we moved to second because we didn't do good today.
Who's first?
Okay, I'll let you guess because there's no shot you get this. I will say this: they're undefeated.
The Pirates.
The Tigers.
Oh, the Tigers.
Sorry, I do have this just set to American League. Sorry. Let me see.
Okay.
If we're doing it, okay, so we're 5th in all. The Padres are actually 1st.
Really?
But, sorry, I was just doing American League only.
That's really all that matters. That's okay.
Exactly. We don't play much now.
No, I'll let you go there. Going over some of our future games, we have we have the Royals tomorrow, one more time, 4-game series against the Kansas City Royals. This is going to be a come to Jesus meeting for our hitters because we're facing Cole Reagans, and Cole Reagans, he's not bad at all. He's a young stud that's coming up through the Kansas City Royals farm system, and it's going to be a tough one because he did lose his first game, pitched 6 innings, 9 strikeouts. But I really think Cole Reagans can be really, really good. He faced Minnesota. I believe it was that opening day. Gave up 5 hits, 2 earned, but like I said, 9 strikeouts. He's good. But guess what? We have Corbin Burns on our mound, who I don't care who the heck you put on the opposite side of that. We got the better pitcher coming out there because my man's 1-0. Only gave up 1 run in his debut. So our bats need to wake up. That way we can take over this series, win a series. That way we can stop overreacting about everything.
Now, obviously, we want to score as much as possible, but I don't see us needing much runs because although Ronel Blanco for the Astros just threw the first no-hitter of the season, I see the second one being pitched tomorrow.
By who?
If Burns. Oh yeah, obviously.
Dude, you go so extreme when you
because look, if he gave up, okay. Let's look at this. Let's look big picture.
One of the best hitters.
Okay, hold up. He's given up 1 hit this season. Who was that 1 hit to? Mike Trout. Is Bobby Witt better than Mike Trout? I don't think so. So no one's gonna get a hit off of him.
Oh man!
It took Mike Trout to get him a hit to get someone to hit off him. That was it. So he's gonna throw maybe 65 pitches. A lot of ground balls.
65 in a whole game.
65 whole game. Yeah, no, whole game. Yeah, we want him to save his arm too.
If you're listening to this,
you know what?
This is not what I think. This
these are the conversations that I tell Cody during the middle of the week, and he calls me stupid for. But you know what? One of these days, he's right, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, you're so smart, Elijah."
This is when people will realize that Elijah is in control of social media because it's gonna be your voice saying this exact thing. Be like, "Hey, Elijah called it out."
I can tell you right now, if Corbin Burns throws a no-hitter tomorrow, I'm gonna figure out how to get on news stations and play this around. No, I mean if I'm predicting stuff, I might as well say, you know what, Rutschman's hitting a home run first of the season tomorrow. They're here. I also want that for my fantasy baseball team. So
yeah, you need it.
It's kind of both of them,
right?
Yeah, because guess who I'm playing, guys? Cody.
Oh yeah, hopefully you lose. So just moving on. So we're going to finish out the series against Kansas City tomorrow. And that's a 105 game, I believe. 105 games. So that means absolutely nobody's going to be there because, normal people work. But that's okay. Because then we go to Pittsburgh on our first road series. We're going to face the Pittsburgh Pirates. And, we'll have Grayson Rodriguez on the mound for that first game over in Pittsburgh. That's going to be a tough little challenge because Pittsburgh's a tough little team. So we'll see how that goes. It looks like Grayson and Tyler Wells, Dean Kremer is going to finish it out on Sunday. And we'll see. Hopefully the next time we talk to you guys, it'll all be good news because next week when we come back on the air, it will be against the Boston Red Sox in Fenway Park. So definitely a beatable team, but we'll see. We're definitely going to get into just a little bit tougher of a schedule, in my opinion. Boston's probably at the same competitive level right now as Kansas City, in my opinion, but I think Pittsburgh's a little better. We'll see. It's still super early in the season. Pittsburgh has yet to lose a game. They are 5-0. So, but who cares, right? What did the Rays go last season to start the season off? Do you remember?
I think it was 13-0 in the first month. I think it was 21-3, 21-6, okay. Something like that.
Who won the division that year?
It was not Tampa.
It wasn't Tampa.
Oh, trust me. Don't worry. I have one friend that's a Tampa Bay Rays fan, and he posted something on Instagram about, I think it was when Yandy Diaz got his Silver Slugger award. And I immediately responded and said, "Oh, that just not coming first."
Yeah.
All that to lose to the Orioles.
So yeah, and it was pretty cool because when we were there on Saturday, they gave Gunnar Henderson and Rutschman their Silver Sluggers. That was pretty neat. You couldn't hear anything they were saying, obviously, because if you're listening to the podcast, I'm just gonna keep saying it until they freaking do something.
Yeah.
It's like the worst.
I don't think we're big enough to have that big of an impact on the Orioles.
You better watch your mouth. But anyway, so really cool. Before we jump off here, the Coors Light flight deck or whatever that's called in center field, it looks cool. It looks neat out there in center field. Camden Yards, it looks absolutely gorgeous. The grass is green. I mean, nothing else is green in the whole city or anywhere because, it's cold. But, man, kudos to our field crew. Man, they are, have to be one of the top in all of baseball. I know they win awards. I can't imagine our girls' trophy case over there. But, yeah, so anyway, Camden Yards looks beautiful. Make sure you get out there, support the O's, and you got what we got today. So today's the last day before, we go to Pittsburgh and then Fenway, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we got great news the next time we jump on here. Thank you to everybody who joined us on another episode here at the Utah Street Banter Podcast. If you would, for me, please like and subscribe to our channels and make sure that you follow us on all our social medias. That's Utah Street Banter. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. So make sure you follow us on the pages and like and comment, give us some feedback, and we can't wait to see you next week. Can't wait to talk about more Orioles baseball. We're finally in the regular season, and let's do this, man, right? So from all of us here, we hope you have a great rest of your week, and hopefully we're in first place when we see you again. We'll talk to you later, guys. See ya.